What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. You may notice a couple differences. First off, I shaved. I don't know. Well, I know why I shaved. Because of number 2. Yes, add me to the list of the 2022 injury bugs. Well, not quite really, but the thing did finally get me. After all of this time, yes, it got me. The big C. I caught COVID this past week. Now, it sucked for the first 2 days, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. So you may notice a little bit of a frog in my voice, but I am back now to making videos on camera. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we get to that, you can always help out the channel and help out with me getting all the fluids that I need to get by just hitting that like button, giving it a gentle tap, and letting the YouTube algorithm know that you like this video, so that lets other wrestling fans know about this video and they might watch it and like it as well. I appreciate it very much. But let's talk about the news this week in pro wrestling and some of the crazier things that have been going on while I've been coughing and hacking and having mind-splitting headaches in bed for 3 days. So one of the interesting things I was reading about is that Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are having an online beef. Now, whether or not this is a work or shoot, again, in this day and age, in 2022, nothing surprises me whether this would be a shoot or work. But essentially it's come down to that over the last couple of weeks, actually, as Omega is still in recovery, and he's working on the Fight Forever AEW video game, he has been making several comments and talking about things about who he actually looks up to in wrestling, the characters he likes, and talking about going more towards a character-driven style than the heavily athletic style that he did before. He's kind of poo-pooed the star ratings since then, so I don't know, maybe him and Meltzer had a falling out. He's like, after the 5th or 6th time he got the heavy star ratings, he grew up and got over it. He wants to do more stuff like he did with Hangman. And, well, that match with Hangman, a lot of people thought that match was really good. I didn't. And we all know why it wasn't one of the best performances. It's because Omega really probably shouldn't have been wrestling at the time. His body was so banged up. But a healthy Kenny Omega who gets back in the ring, if that happens, I'm looking forward to seeing. But I think what it really is coming down to is Omega is probably preparing everybody for the fact that when he does return to the ring, he's not going to be what we saw in 2016, 2017, 2018, and those crazy matches he had in New Japan, which is what made him famous to begin with. And this is nothing new. This is nothing different. Shawn Michaels went through the same thing when Shawn Michaels was a highly athletic star. When he came back after being on the shelf for 4 years, he wrestled a slightly different style. He still had his athleticism that was just natural to him, but he didn't take as many risks and didn't do as many crazy bumps as he did back when he was starting his singles career and when he was with the Rockers. Same thing for a lot of wrestlers, especially highly physical wrestlers like the Omegas, like the Ospreays, like Shawn Michaels, and many that have come before them and will come after them. As they get older, they have to adopt their style and adjust because of injuries and just because of age. However, he has taken quite a number of shots at Will Ospreay that he says he's not taking shots, but he is taking shots. And Ospreay finally responded in the way that the Commonwealth Kingpin usually does, full of expletives.
And Endor, like, he can think what he wants about me, but the motherfucker's just, he's honestly just such a little bitch. He's just the same person when he's like, oh, I grew up after 6 to 7 5-star matches. It's like, no you didn't, you cunt. You're still fucking looking on, you vanity search your fucking name on Twitter to see what everybody says about you, and when it's all bad, you're fucking crying the corner of your fucking £1 million ass that you fucking got. Because I'm not a fucking idiot when it comes to my own company. We got hit hard by the fucking pandemic, but like, does that mean that I'm taking a fucking day off? No, I'm working my fucking arse off to bring it back, because that's what you fucking said to do. This is the reason why I don't like Kenny, and like, I think this is where some people can fucking relate to something along these lines. Like, when you talk to me and you tell me this and then you go behind your to fans and you talk differently, like, that's where we have a fucking problem. Like, and the worst thing is, you have my number. If we've got a fucking problem, you can call me and we can fucking talk about this, but I ain't got nothing to say to him. And the worst thing is like, people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, like, they're building up to something. We're not building up to fucking anything. It's a cunt. Like, be and end all is just like, I will fucking slap that boy and like just remind me you're a fucking 40-year-old man. Like, and you're fucking fragile, bro. You want to fucking get with me, like I'll fucking end you.
But Ospreay pretty much laid into Omega. And again, he says Ospreay's saying it's not a work, and he's just shooting on the see you next Tuesday wrestler that he calls Kenny Omega. But this has been a long time coming, and one of the things, they wrestled a long time ago before either one of them were anywhere near the megastars that they are now in the pro wrestling industry. And we never got to see Will Ospreay against Kenny Omega in a proper program in New Japan. But now with the Forbidden Door open, and with Ospreay possibly in the future maybe signing with AEW, whether or not Ospreay will go to AEW or not, that's a whole totally different thing. You know, he likes to be home in England a lot, but AEW schedules really like you wrestle once a week, so who knows. But the real interesting thing is, are we going to see a feud between Ospreay and Kenny Omega probably around, I don't know, the end of the year? A return to New Japan, especially as something like Wrestle Kingdom, would be absolutely massively huge for New Japan, who definitely wants some more eyeballs and more butts and seats at the coming Wrestle Kingdom this year, after the last couple of years where they've been really struggling with the pandemic, but not just the pandemic, with just their booking, to get a lot of fans interested in coming to their shows. So Omega coming to Wrestle Kingdom along with a Bryan Danielson and a CM Punk, especially if it's Omega and an Ospreay feud that's mostly online, not playing out on AEW. I think that's the way you probably want to handle some of these AEW wrestlers who might go to a New Japan show, is to do it more online and less on AEW's TV program, because you're going to get all the whining about, well, if this is going to happen in New Japan, then I'm going to see it, because I'm not going to watch New Japan, because wrestling fans are going to be wrestling fans, and that's the way they still are, unfortunately. But that is a very interesting development. I want to kind of keep that on the back burner and follow it and see where it goes in the future. Vince McMahon is still Vince McMahon too. They found $14 million worth of hush money allegations. A lot of people are speculating that this might actually finally be the downfall of Vincent Kennedy McMahon in WWE. Vince is like a cockroach. He's survived a lot of stuff. He survived steroid scandals. He survived neck surgery. He's survived really attempted murder plots levied against him, rumored or actual. And we don't know where, they say they're not finding anything else, but who knows what. You keep pulling on these threads, you're going to just start unraveling a lot of stuff. So who knows how much pulling is going to be done, what else is going to unravel, we don't know yet. And this is still going to go on for a while. But if this is the end of Vince McMahon running WWE, do I think WWE is going to change overnight? Probably not. It's not a great year, but I've enjoyed more stuff that I've seen from WWE this year than I have in the past several years. So starting with that WrestleMania this year, which I will still say is the best it's one of my top 10 WrestleManias, maybe even top 5 WrestleManias of all time, was this year's WrestleMania. So that's saying a lot. And some of the other stuff that they've done since then, the stuff with Cody and Seth Rollins was great. Now, I love Roman Reigns now, his character now. However, there is the downside that Roman is now a part-timer. Cody got injured. They're kind of still redoing and rehashing matches over and over again. And the weekly shows still apparently are kind of crappy. But whether or not this is going to be the new direction that a lot of fans hope for WWE, maybe. But again, I think WWE is fine with the fan base that it has already. And if they want to keep catering to people and hiring Logan Pauls and Ronda Rousey, that's their prerogative. It works for their audience, and more power to them. And in one last little bit of kind of weird news, autograph signings seem to be all the rage now for events in AEW, as yet another autograph signing event had some sort of weird thing going on, as Brody King apparently attacked Darby Allin at an autograph signing, which obviously is not part of Dynamite or Rampage. Now, they may show this on Dynamite this coming week. I did kind of get the sense that the way, which was really cool, in which Brody King eliminated Darby Allin from the Battle Royal, which basically choking him like he was in a noose with a sleeper and then just dropping him to end the Battle Royal. I had a sense that that's probably going to come back, and that is a great opponent for Darby Allin, and it's also a great opponent for Brody King. A Darby Allin-Brody King feud could be really damn good, and then, of course, you get the crossover with Darby Allin and Sting, against the House of Black, which could, that the potential for cool shit there is really, really high. The autograph signing stuff is kind of fair game right now in the world of AEW for advancing storylines. Of course, a lot of people are going to start pointing at the MJF stuff. Again, we still don't where that's going. Is it going anywhere? Who knows? But again, AEW kind of changing the game a little bit here and there and adding some new wrinkles that at least keep the promotion interesting. But that's the news for today. I want to know what you guys think. Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. And until next time, I will see you guys here for more news, rumors, and commentary, as long as I stay healthy, right here on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.